Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here talking about some NBA news, my second NBA news video of the day. Probably my last one, unless there's a lot more stuff to talk about later tonight. Probably won't be. I'm just going to recap the Kentucky game tonight. Probably, because there's really nothing else I want to recap tonight, so probably just a Kentucky game. I think I do have an NBA game for tonight, so yeah, but besides these news videos, probably not much planned. Yeah, but no NBA tonight, no NBA recap, because there's not really a interesting game on the schedule I want to talk about. So, probably just these news videos and then a Kentucky recap tonight will probably be it. But first thing I want to talk about is the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks here in the news. So, per AHP Basketball, the New York Knicks are interested in Karl-Anthony Towns. Are the Timberwolves interested in trading Karl-Anthony Towns? I mean, are they trying to trade him? Like, why do you think they would trade him 10 games of the season? They're 8-3, and Cat is playing phenomenal. Apart from the Celtics game, other than that, he's been playing pretty solid. He would be the Knicks' best player, automatically. Well, RJ Barrett's probably been their best player this year. He's shooting really efficient. But this isn't happening. As a Wolves fan, or not as a Wolves fan, but if you're a Wolves fan, you probably want to keep Karl-Anthony Towns. He's kind of just had a slow start to the season. But this isn't happening. Please put an end to this rumor. I guess he can shoot, but this isn't going to happen. They're just going to stick with Mitchell Robinson, I bet. And I don't think that would move the needle for the New York Knicks. I'm just saying. That's all I'll say about that. I'm not going to go over the top 30 players in the NBA over the last 7 days according to Hoops Hype, because who gives a shit? So Clippers insider at Law Murray, the NU, believes the Clippers brought in James Harden to ultimately replace Russell Westbrook. So, he said, the reality of this move is that Harden was brought in to ultimately replace Westbrook. In the case that a partnership between the two players on the floor did not work, while Lou advocated for Westbrook, the Clippers front office always preferred a point guard who is a theoretical fit with Leonard and George in terms of size and shooting ability. Period. End quote. There's about 15 different stories about the Clippers this week, and yet they still haven't won a fucking game. Another way Harden ruined a team, brought all his media and circus dealings with them. Clippers were underrated and hungry in the beginning of the season. Ever since they brought Harden, they still haven't won a freaking game. The Clippers were better without Harden. It should have, they didn't even need Harden. Nobody does. He's a non-asset. He just brings unnecessary publicity wherever he goes. He needs to buy just, being a role player. Or you could have brought in Holiday, Brogdon, or just keep your same roster you had. Westbrook right now is 10 times better than Harden is out there on the floor for the Clippers. And you can't replace Russ. You can replace Russ, but you can't replace his passion. And he's played good defensively this year. And he's showing that he's willing to do whatever it takes, coming off the bench. He could just keep starting. Him off the bench is late for a regular season grind throughout the season. The Clippers just need to gather. This is just fucking comedy at this point. Harden is cooked, which makes this whole fucking situation hilarious. Such a L franchise. So Boston's TD Garden was voted as the best arena in basketball. So, interesting. The Warriors were here at 4. I don't know about that. I don't know if our arena, Chase Center, should be up there at 4. And there's not really too much to say about the arenas. I mean, that's just some news thing here. So Zach LaVine's camp would rather he not end up in New York playing for the Knicks, per S. Bond NBA. Quote, there are multiple reasons a LaVine to Knicks deal won't happen, period. A source reiterated to the Post this week that LaVine's camp would prefer not to go to Leon Rose's squad. New York just simply doesn't want Zach LaVine. Is basically a translation here. Now, I think Knicks fans, some would want him, some wouldn't. I mean, probably some would want Zach LaVine on their team, some wouldn't, which probably a 50-50 split. But I don't know if anybody wants Zach LaVine right now. I mean, I'm pretty sure some team does. But where do I think he'll end up? I don't think he'll end up with the Knicks, because I don't think the Knicks want him. And I guess his camp doesn't want him to go there, so maybe the Lakers, if he were to get traded. But I mean, there's always hope till the end. You never know, he could go to the Knicks. But the Knicks would just somehow choke anyways. But the Knicks, I guess, I'm sure he's devastated missing out a chance to join a storied franchise who will probably fucking choke in the playoffs if they make it. So we have some news about Mr. Bradley Beal. Just a little thing here from Woj. Suns star Bradley Beal is expected to miss several more games with his sore lower back, sources tell ESPN. The team announces that Beal will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. 3 weeks! Reevaluating 3 weeks and several more games are not the same thing. Like, 3 weeks is crazy. Like, is he not going to play a fucking game? Suns' Big 3 is going to be the 2021 Brooklyn Nets Part 2, where they play like 10 games together, if that. Like, just at this point, announce he's missing the rest of the season, because I don't even know how many fucking games he's going to play. But people talk about AD being injury prone. Holy shit, Bradley Beal's injury prone. The Heat dodged a bullet not getting Bradley Beal. Because he hasn't played like, what, one or two games this year? You remember when people asked who was stopping that team? Yeah, injuries are stopping this team. It's not even like he's a bad player. Like, he's good. It's just he's, for some reason, I guess has so many fucking back problems this year. Like, do you need help? So many back problems for Bradley Beal now. So, yeah, we'll see if there's anything else here from Shans. If not, that'll probably be it for this. Same thing as reported, so yeah, it's really all to talk about for the NBA. So, I'll do another NFL news video probably in a little bit. That's probably the end of the NBA news videos for today. Just want to get another quick one up here. So, probably do another NFL. Probably maybe another MLB. Just get some more MLB stuff out there. And then a Kentucky recap tonight, since there's no NBA games I'm going to do. Most likely. So, yeah, until next time I'm out. Peace.